Okay, so what we're looking at are some parts from the Dodge Neon srt4 transmission. This is the T850. Okay, this is your input shaft. Basically, these are stacks off of, was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different input shafts. Okay, one was broken. Various other things. Okay. I'm going to show you some of the reasons that why your third gear doesn't work and long-term damage that gets caused, because I think there's a couple good examples here. Two of these had broken snap rings. Okay, and this snap ring is what actually holds third on. So when you're looking at your shaft, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's your synchronizer for your third and your fourth. Okay, so the way these came off is the way if this shaft was sitting like this. All right, so this would be your third gear. Now, looking at this one, if we look at this area here, you can tell that this is actually what gets shifted onto. It has these teeth right here. I don't know, hopefully it's coming in the camera. Quite worn, pretty shot. Okay, that had this broken snap ring. All right, there's your roller bearings that go inside. This one here, we can see that our blocking ring is quite burnt by the color. It's pretty black, and it's actually starting to separate off of the material is actually starting to separate. You can see we have some missing. All right, what that does is when this hub ring, when you're pushing on this fork to put this in gear, it's sliding this over top of these teeth here. What this does is when you're pushing that hub ring, it hits these first. Okay, so people think that this is what you're grinding, but you're actually grinding this. This comes over and this is coned. It's on an angle, and so is this. This actually pushes against that to slow this down so that that hub ring can line up with these gears, these teeth on the gear to shift in. Okay, so this is the hub ring. This part is no longer made. Okay, this outer part here, this hub ring, is no longer made. This right here, where this is what shifts over that. This is worn. So when you grind your gear, you hear this. That's what you're doing. You're filing these teeth off when you're shifting and grinding and forcing stuff into gear, causing more damage to your manual transmission. Okay, so this is the fourth gear side. These teeth are showing a little bit of wear, but if you look at these, they're not pointy, they're pretty round. So that hub ring and third gear are shot. This is the blocking ring for fourth gear. Pretty black, pretty junk. All right, maybe I was wrong. That wasn't that snap ring was this set. This one here is actually good. So here we go, we got a good example. You can see just, I had to bend this. It was a pain in the neck to get these off when they're broke. But you can see just, I mean, if I folded this in a little bit, you can see just how much of that one's missing. But that one's a good snap ring. All right, so here's our fourth gear. This one here is fine. You can see we have good teeth on here. You know, this might, I would say that that's probably pretty much average normal wear. All right, that has a roller bearing that goes inside. Slides over the shaft. And then I think this is reverse. All right, now we have this one. Okay, so here's our third gear. You can look at this one. It's actually this, like I said, this is the one that had the broken snap ring. You can see third gear's totally gone there. Here's our blocking ring. This has, I'd say, 98% of the material is missing off of that. That's junk. That is a contributing factor. This transmission did not have transmission fluid in it. It actually had oil. So I've heard different things, that the oil does break these down and allows this. Look, I have a glove on. Now we know this is already damaged pretty much, but I'm sitting here, I can pick this off with my fingernail through a rubber glove. So I don't know for sure if that is reasoning there. Now, here's our hub ring. Third gear side, junk. It actually looks like the inner part of this one is good. The fourth gear side is all right. Usable pretty much. We have blocking material missing off of this blocking ring. So, like I said, that had oil. This trans had oil in it. It did not have transmission fluid. Yeah, right there you can see there's a piece of it falling off. Let me see, is that? So that's weird looking. I don't know. Like I said, I've had some of these apart, but I've never noticed that. This one here is showing more wear, probably because it was driven more on that one. Okay. Here's another gear set. Now these ones, I think, will start to look a little better. Okay. Here's our third. See, this third gear here is actually nice. It's usable. I would say, you know, based on the way these things are, I'd say that that is average, near mint gear when you're looking at these things used. Okay. Now, here's our blocking ring. Look how nice and pretty that one is. Good material on there. Nothing's burnt. Different colors. Hopefully everything's coming into the camera for you. Here is this one. Looks pretty good. There's minimal wear on the third gear side. Minimal wear on that side. Sliding like it should. Here is the snap ring. Very good condition. Blocking ring for fourth. Fourth gear. Looks very good. This stuff here, I would put new blocking rings even though they look like they're all right. But that is an example of one that is not damaged like these previous two, where third gear is shot and the outer hub ring is shot. Okay, let's take a look at this set. These always like to come out. I was dropping third gear out there. All right, now another third gear. This one here, well, here you go. This one is pretty much, I will say, finished. There is no teeth left on here. You can even look down across that side and see plenty of grinding was done. Here is our blocking ring. Oh my goodness. I don't know what was used in this transmission, but if it was oil or something, it ate up the blocking ring. Look at this. I can, you know, just... Gosh. So the blocking ring's what took this one out, because it stopped working, and then we ended up with a grind. This hub ring on the outer side of this, junk. Okay. I mean, it's nice to see lots of bad parts. You can tell this one here is black. Man, I can just pick at the material through the glove too. Here, look. And it's coming off. Fourth gear. Usable, but showing wear, and there's plenty of fourth gears, so that's pretty much junk. All right. So we have one good third, all right, out of this whole pile so far. Now, here we go. Here's this pile. Now, this one got superheated, okay? But third gear looks usable. Here, this has some wear. I mean, as hard as these things are to get, if you just wanted to throw something together, you could probably get away with using this. There's our blocking ring. It's actually all in one piece. Was doing what it's supposed to. Hub ring. Plenty usable. Like I said, this one here, you can tell it was got a little warm. Not bad. Still not usable. Fourth gear looks good. Now this one here I already went through and pretty much eliminated everything. This one had the snap ring broken to the point where it was starting to eat into this, and it actually had the gear locked up on the shaft, which I can show you that shaft here in a minute. Alright, so there's our roller bearings, nut. The blocking rings, like I said, not too. I wanted to wash this down just to see, because you could see all the material that's in here. I'm going to put this in my parts washer. I'll wash it off and I'll inspect this. But this hub ring here actually looks like it's usable. What we got here? This is the third gear here. Like I said, this third gear here looks like it's probably usable. So we have one mint one and maybe two that I would consider that are good enough to be in a transmission to get rebuilt. Probably more like one perfect one perfect third. A second one you could try. This one here, I would say, as far as the shifting part, is probably worse than this area is on that other one, but this one's nicer. So there's that. I'm gonna grab this other shaft and I'll show you what wore. Okay, so here is our shaft. You can see here, this is where the fourth gear, right here. Where's the bearing? I just need a bearing for this. Okay, so this comes in here. That might not be the right one. Probably is. But this gear rides here, okay? So that's your fourth. And you can see how the surface right here is all marred. This is a good smooth surface, which really sucks because this shaft has no twist on the end. Unlike this one, that's starting to show twist, but has a good bearing surface. So, I don't know if this helps explain stuff, or just, you know what I mean, to show some of the things. Some of these parts are reusable, other ones aren't. Like I said, I'm going to clean up these hub rings. I'll probably pull all these synchronizers apart and make sure that everything's clean, and then I'll get them reassembled. I'll probably get new springs, and like I said, some of these you could get away with using, but if you're going to do any of these, unless you're putting something together with crossing fingers and you want a cheap fix, I would just order a whole new set of these from P-Works and install the carbon fiber ones. And I personally, I would run either any brand of ATF. All has to conform to a certain things, and that's what was running these. You could run the sinker mesh in these. If you're going to run something with the carbon fiber blocking rings, they suggest like a 4T motorcycle oil, because it's like a carbon clutch, and you kind of have to think of that this like that, so you can get away with like a sinker mesh or a 4T motorcycle oil, and install that in the transmission. So just a quick one. Hopefully, I'm sure I talked too much and showed too much, and I'm sure this is too long. So till the next trans problem and the next srt4 issue, we're out.